straight from your 2 weeks in Mombasa, was it? And I must congratulate Engineer Zambia, Honorable Kimilu. I just got information today that Wiper members from Makueni were actually received invitation to go to State House. I don't know why they're so selective. Yeah, just heard that. And they declined. Politely. Because you can send very powerful messages very politely. Because if we are going to make sense of democratic gains, you do not go, as Adam Zolo has put it, cannibalizing political organizations and inviting members without reference to their leadership. It is unthinkable. Therefore, I saw others saying that Wiper is going to State House after our colleagues. I haven't heard anybody saying they're going there. I must thank the member for Mwingi Central, Gideon Mulungi. I'll give him, I'm choosing just an example. He was with us in Kamukunji, in Kibra, and actually he went a step further, declared himself a general from his side of the world. But he was invited by Moses Kuria to State House in Mombasa when the president was doing, and I use the word president advisedly, was opening some factory. And so, because there's coal in Mwingi Central, a lot of coal deposits, he was someone to go and explain why him, and I don't know why they left Irene Kasalu, the county women rep for Kitui, because I know she has been in the forefront in opposing coal mining in that area because of the current climate change arrangements all over. But Gideon went there, but he did the decent thing. He said, I've been summoned to State House. He called his party leader. And I think that's the way to do it because of the urgency of the matter, and his committee was in Parliament. He just had the decency to call me, and I straight away said, please go. Because as Jeremiah said, if there are issues to do with your own constituency, you should feel free to do something. But then there's, take that against the negative, the opposite situation of a conspiracy to defraud democracy. A conspiracy to defraud democracy. Last night I was watching CNN, and a gentleman who is German has written a book, Ndugu, which I think we should look for and read. And Adams, please, I want to challenge you to look at that book and make a critique of it. The title of the book is Democratic Capitalism by one Wolf. And this morning, listening to BBC and the Director General of the World Health Organization, she was a Nigerian lady, very capable, and been asked, what do you say to the fact that globalization has died? And she said, allow me to differ with you. It hasn't. Of course, we are seeing it, like in the case of Europe, nationalism, European nationalism, and in the case of Donald Trump's America that time, America first, and but NAFTA arrangements, which is Mexico, America, and I think Brazil, or is it Brazil, the NAFTA arrangements out there, Mexico, America, Canada, thank you, is still in place. And we have in our region, of course, the building blocks towards African unity, the Abuja Declaration, if you remember, if some of you have looked at that, and therefore the fact that we are strengthening regional integration as within East African community, that's why we're seeing the East African national anthem. I don't think we are cannibalizing our approach to regional unity, but Brexit perhaps was to blame for that kind of impression. And somebody last night was saying, Europeans are actually quick to say when President Zelensky makes a surprise visit to visit Prince Charles and the House of Commons and addresses them and asking. In fact, you are reminded of what Churchill once said during the Second World War, when he went to the US and said, give us the tools and we'll finish the job. I'm saying this as a background to what I'm just about to say. That as a nation, welcome sana ndugu Eugene Wamalo. Tumpigie makofi. And DAP and I think KANU are really represented. When I heard them saying KANU is going to state house, I started laughing. So, fellow Kenyans, because you are leaders, if you're not careful, you're going to follow. You're going to find your own constituents ahead of you. And that's where they are. We saw that in Jacaranda. I saw that in Kibra. You're most likely going to see that in Mavoko tomorrow. And therefore, as a leader, you need to ask your question. Do you want to lead or you want to be led by your own people? Something is grossly wrong with our country. But I draw a lot of satisfaction out of the fact that Constitution 2010 is in place. And so, if it was not that for Constitution, some of us would be in detention for sure. Therefore, Adams, those of our fellow countrymen who struggled for democracy in this country remain our heroes today. Because of them, we have now established a tradition where even if you are president, Ndugu Raila, if you are the president today, you will require William Ruto as leader of your opposition. I saw last night during the address of the State of the Nation by President Joe Biden, perhaps the biggest democracy in our Constitution, 2010, is fashioned in a very straight way, very strong way along the American Constitution. He had to go there and plead with the Speaker, who is Republican, after Nancy Pelosi left. You know, the Republicans have gotten the leadership of the Congress. Now, William Ruto and his people did not have to cannibalize our majority. He could still have come and say, let's have a bipartisan approach. Joe Biden was there. This is the country we are in now. You cannot cannibalize democracy in this country. It will not happen. Not under Constitution 2010. Therefore, I just want to encourage us to be very strong and very focused. Very strong and very focused.